How's it going, people? I'm Zephyros, and welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be focusing on a little bit of a breakthrough that we've had as a community, and with the developers kind of responding to our overall feedback. So with that all being said, let's get into it. So yeah, over the past kind of week or so, maybe a bit longer, we have kind of, through various different avenues, we have kind of tried to relay our disappointment in certain things towards the developers. Um, uh, Thank you to Sky, who has actually been kind of our kind of the most direct pathway to actually speaking to the developers as well. And massive shout out to Sebastian, who actually sent me a screenshot to show the feedback or the response from the developers as well, because it came through on Forerunners. Right. So the little breakthrough that we've had is right here. So I'll show you the screenshot. So it says, and bear in mind, this is on Forerunners, not on the global server. So, dear Commander, in the previous version update, the Malrik's Halls of Illusion introduced an energy feature for Trial Keystone, allowing you to attempt challenges multiple times, so twice, and adjust your strategies more flexibly. After receiving feedback regarding the limited energy points for Trial Keystone, we have now increased the energy cap to 5 points. Thank you for your continued support and understanding. So they've increased the attempts now from 2 tries to 5 tries. Now, is that the complete solution that I was hoping for? No, it's not. I wanted the limit to be completely removed, right? But I think it's important to give credit where credit is due. Um, we were obviously not very happy as a community. The amount of feedback I got when I put that video out was quite simply astounding. Um, and the reason that this kind of update or this kind of announcement does actually make me happy, even though it's not the complete solution I was looking for, the total solution, is at least it shows a willingness from the developers to listen when we voice our concerns. Now, for me, that's massive. Even though we're not kind of fully at where I wanted us to be or where I hoped we could get, it's at least a step in the right direction. Because this is a big change, right? Because now it means that when I mentioned it before in my previous video, if I wanted to try a different strategy, right, and it didn't work out, that was 50% of my tries just done and dusted, wasted, right? At least now it's only 20%. So it means that you do have a bit of wiggle room to now try different strategies, and you've still got 4 more attempts if it doesn't work out. So for me, it's a really, really good change. And has it addressed all the other issues I talked about? No, it hasn't. So obviously the stamina issue is still a thing. And it is something that I will obviously keep trying to talk about and keep trying to relay to them, saying, look, we need to find we need to find some sort of middle ground, but they've shown a willingness to compromise. So for me, that is a big thing, and it is something that I will kind of say, you know what, big thumbs up from me, because at least you've shown that willingness to compromise, and for me, that is massive, right? Um, so let me just send this off. So yeah, but do I think, like, for example, this limit here, do I like it? No, because we this is just extortionate, right? So do I think that do I mind the limit of 30? You know what? Not so much if it was all at the same price. If it was all 60 gems and they're limited at 30, I would be okay with it, to be honest. Um I wouldn't be like, I would still want no limit, but I get the reasoning to some degree. So I would ask that, look, can you at least make it so if you're going to limit it to 30, at least make it so it's the same price as the initial 10 that you do, right? So if it just cost me 1,800 just to do 30 and you're going to cap me at 30, I can make my peace with that. would I want this increased? Yes. Oh, I didn't buy it today. Would I want that increased? Yes, I would. Slightly more, but again, I can make my peace with it if we can find a middle ground. And so the next thing that I would love, right, is something that I think is important to stress. Right, loads of people have kind of said, "Well, I don't think the 200 limit is so bad. Big 200, the kind of 200 limits that you can do, the number of keystones that you can attempt, 200 keystones. Do I think it's as much of a problem? No, if there are certain caveats with that, right? They're bringing in this thing where you can just bin unwanted ones, right? The only issue I have with that is that we got these keystones from farming and from various other sources, but it's from actively playing the game. So to just bin them, it just doesn't sit quite right with me. It's just like, well, we earned those. Why do we have to bin them? Because you've set this limit on it. I think something that I mentioned in the podcast I did with Sebastian as well is that I think being able to merge keystones would be a really good solution. Then I wouldn't care about the 200 limit. If I can merge the quite frankly shit ones, like look here, I've got 16 level 1 reds, right? If I could combine two of those to make it a red level 2, then it's going to I'm not going to do that many keystones. These are the ones that just take up all the attempts, and the rewards are just quite frankly shit. It's not worth the time. This is what the problem is. Like, if you're going to limit to 200, I don't mind as long as 180 of those attempts are not level 1 and level 2. That are quite frankly not good enough in terms of the rewards. But if I can upgrade those and make my keystones better, then I'm okay. I actually don't mind it. Like the biggest issue I had was that you didn't even tell us that we weren't told about the 200 limit. There was no kind of number set, right? So that was the biggest issue I had. But I wouldn't mind if we could actually update. Now, one thing that I think is actually a really good kind of again an additional caveat to put in that is that the big thing that loads of people kind of have an issue with is that when you go into what the rewards are, it's the fact that you've got like the psychic 5-star hero rewards and like these things are in a top test like that. These are not needed, right? So people are just not happy. Like when you finish like a really hard level 5 or level 4 keystone and you get one of these rewards, it leaves a really sour taste in the mouth. I think what would be a really good substitution for these things is like the concept of keystone dust. So if you complete a keystone and you get the reward chest and you can get keystone dust, that allows you to combine. So it shouldn't be like I don't think you should be able to just openly um be able to just combine everything freely. I think there should be a thing of no, you have to play the content, you have to pass some of the content, like complete a couple of level 3s, complete a couple of level 4s, and by doing so, get the reward that enables you to upgrade level 1s and level 2s into further kind of level 3s and level 4s. Then it wouldn't feel like such a kick in the teeth if I got that as a chest, because it would mean that fine, I didn't get the rewards I wanted straight away, but this reward at least lets me upgrade other ones to maybe try again. And then it would feel like, yeah, that's like the kind of forfeit reward, but at least it's not like a complete waste. Like this is a complete waste. Like I'm never going to be using these. I've got like I'm going to be pushing onto 1k plus of these, so I'll never use those. I will never use these again because I've already got these ones that I'm using on everything. So I think that would be a really good solution, right? So I'm trying to offer solutions as compromise for the changes that I want going forward. But overall, I'm going to say well done to the developers because at least you've shown that willingness to compromise. So it's I'm feeling a lot more positive actually seeing that. I do still want further change and the things that I've just spoken about. I do still want to see those come in, but overall, thank you for at least taking on board some of the things that we've said, and hopefully we can continue the discussion and get some more positive changes that will lead to everybody feeling like they're benefiting from these changes and actually looking forward to the updates. All right, so yeah, that's the update. Thank you, guys, for all getting involved and actually commenting below as well. It is appreciated. Obviously, if you do find my content useful and you feel like it is actually contributing, please do like, comment, subscribe. Until the next video, guys, stay blessed.